blessings, and welcome to this live Path to Freedom with me, Daniel Roquéo. This live session here on Aura, and today also on what's it called? Instagram. That is what it is called. Thank you so much for being with us, for tuning in, for joining me into this beautiful space where we get to allow for ever greater and grander expressions of who and what we are, where we get to allow for ever more peace and love and joy and harmony and beauty and all of these to emerge from within, and also where we get to set ourselves free from fear and worry and doubt, a sense of not being enough, a sense of lack and scarcity and separation. So we have Donnelly is here, and I believe Christine is here. Thank you so much. So whenever we are and wherever we are in this moment, before we move into the actual exploring, I invite us to put in the chat the quality that we wish to experience, or the quality that we wish to embody. So we've got Jamie is here, Jeff is here, Elizabeth is here. Hi, beautiful to see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Putting it in the chat, just the quality. It can be, and Robin is here from California. It can be peace or love or harmony or wholeness or abundance or beauty or creativity. But putting it in the chat makes it a little bit more intentional, so that as we move through this space, we get to align our choices and we get to lean onto the sacred laws to guide and lead and move us in the direction of the quality that we wish to experience. So Christine is saying healing, me for once, or for one, I'm going with patience. It's not really quality, but it is something that I need to experience more of right now. Elizabeth says peace. Beautiful. So having these qualities in mind, or having the quality that we have chosen, or the qualities in mind as we move through this space, a question that we want to sort of be with, or that we want to allow to be active in our consciousness is, how can I move in the direction of healing or peace or compassion, as Darnellis is saying, or patience as I am putting forth? And Robin is saying a peaceful transition to a better life after surgery. And I'm saying it's done. In the infinite mind, God, it's already done. All of these are already done. They're already happened in the infinite mind. So we are not calling them forth. We're just locking onto something that already exists in the infinite mind. So it's already happening. Beautiful. Rebecca is here from London, and Jeff from Dallas. All right, so the topic for today, initially I was going for the qualities of healing or something like that. And then a few days ago, I was inspired to call it, or to have it be something about vibrational alignment. And then last night, just before I went to sleep, it came to me that it was going to be about transformation, and how transformation is messy. And as I was in meditation this morning, the Spirit confirmed that is the topic for today. So today is going to be about transformation being messy. And obviously, as is the case with all of these are just the starting point. I mean, we can have any topic. We can choose any topic, and the conversation that we have, what we put forth into this space, allows for whatever direction to come forth. We're being accompanied by a fly here who wants to join in. We've got Jonathan from Minneapolis. Imperfection, like, it's a beautiful quality. Releasing imperfection. Robin is saying, I do, but I didn't know I would never bend or twist, but I can walk. Beautiful. All right. So before we move into the exploration of this topic, we are going to move into a brief meditation to ground ourselves, to release and let go of our attachments to conditions and circumstances, to bring ourselves back to the nowness of this moment. And so, in this moment, wherever we are and whenever we are, we're all invited to make ourselves comfortable. And that simply means that whatever it means for us, that we make ourselves comfortable sitting up, standing, laying down, or whatever. We're invited to close our eyes. We're invited to put a smile on our face, let a beautiful, healing smile play across our faces. And this, of course, has nothing to do with whether or not we feel like smiling or not, but this is a spiritual practice. This is a healing agent. This smile, every time we smile, we're sending the signal to the body that all is well, and the body responds with relaxing, it responds with releasing tension, it responds with producing and distributing healing chemicals that are good for the body, that slow down the aging process, that strengthens the immune system, and they do a whole lot more. But smiling is good. Smiling is good, and it doesn't matter if we don't feel like smiling. The body doesn't know the difference between a real smile or a fake smile. The same muscles are activated. And so we're welcome to sustain this smile all through the meditation, which is going to be for a few short minutes. I invite us to turn our attention toward the breath, realizing that the body, with its divine intelligence, it knows when to breathe, it knows how to breathe, it knows how much air to breathe in and when to release it. So we do not need to make the breathing happen. But our job is to witness and observe the breathing as be aware. Be aware of the air that flows in and out, or the chest rises up. Just simply observe it, witness it. And we're also invited to become aware that each breath has 4 stages to it. There's the in breath, there's the space between in and out breath, we have the out breath, and then there's a space between out and in breath. That makes up a full breath. And as we move into the meditation, we're invited to be extra mindful of that last stage, the space between out and in breath. Because that is oftentimes as the body has released the breath, the mind or the attention tends to believe that the breath is over. So the attention muscle relaxes, and whoops, our attention is pulled away from the breath, from this now moment into fantasy, into time, past, present, future. But being aware of this, intending to have our attention stay on the breath through these 4 stages and beyond, it's easier and easier to be with the breath. In this moment, I invite us all to take on the feeling tone that all is well. And let us give the peace that follows permission to move us deep, deep, deep into the stillness, into the silence. If our attention drifts away from the breath, let's gently and lovingly turn it back to the breath and begin again. Come back to the breath and begin again. Let's come back to the breath and begin again. Let's come back to the breath and begin again. As I move us into an opening prayer, I invite us all to remain with our eyes closed and our minds open, our hearts open, so that we may be available for this prayer to move us into a higher vibration and expand our consciousness even more. So in this moment, how grateful I am that I get to be walking this beautiful path of freedom. How grateful I am that I get to be in this space and continuously allowing for ever greater and grander expressions of who and what I am to emerge. That I get to continuously allow for ever expanding peace and love, abundance, beauty to well up from within. That I get to be a humble servant and instrument of the divine, of the one mind. I get to give and share of my talents, my ability. I get to serve the planet, the world, humanity in such a beautiful way. And in this moment, I'm grateful for every single being who's tuning into this space, who's joining into this space, be it live or in a recorded form. I'm so grateful for your presence. I'm so grateful for your willingness to be in a space of transformation, be in a space of releasing and letting go of that which no longer serves, the small, the limited. I'm grateful for your courage. I'm grateful for that initial yes, and every yes that has followed, and every yes that will follow. I'm grateful for you. Knowing that even though we may seem to be separated, we may seem to be separate, the only thing that is happening here is this one loving presence. We can choose to call it God, we can choose to call it spirit, or the universe or love or energy, whatever we call or life, or whatever we call it, it's the one thing here. It is the one mind. It is the one power. It is the one life. It is the one love. It is the one source of everything. It is all there is. So there's no space nor place any of us can ever be or go where this loving presence is not. Because it is every place, it is every being, it is every object, it is every moment. It is the creator and the creation alike. In this loving presence, it truly is loving. It is benevolent, it is good, it is always for itself. It is always in state and space of expansion, progression, seeking to reveal more of that which it is in essence through all of creation. And to that end, it is eternally sourcing and fueling and funding itself, guiding and leading and moving itself, even sustaining and maintaining itself, completely unable, completely incapable of doing and being anything else but what it is. And so here we are, in absolute oneness with this loving presence, absolute unity with this loving presence. We are what it is. It is what we are. We, each and every single one of us, is unique, perfect, whole, complete expression, emanation of this the one. We are it doing itself, being itself, ising itself, revealing itself, expressing itself in us and through us. Unique, perfect, whole, complete, magnificent, powerful, beautiful way. So it is from this awareness of knowing that all is one that I know that we are blessed. Every single one of us, we are blessed beyond imagination. We're blessed with everything that we need to keep moving forward. We're blessed with everything that we need to keep allowing for the next great and grand version of who we are to emerge. We're lacking nothing. We're missing nothing. But everything is given. Just like the tulip emerges from within the tulip seed, or the apple tree emerges from within the apple seed. And none of those seeds, no seed in nature, takes anything from the soil. Yes, it needs conditions. It needs sunlight, it needs water, it needs nutrition, it needs the right pH in the ground and the right humidity and temperature and all of that. But when those conditions are met, the seed takes nothing from the ground, but inherent within the seed is everything needed for the highest possibility for that seed to emerge. And so it is with us. That in this moment, in every single moment, all that we need is already here. We are the answer. We are all that is needed. Because we are one with this loving presence that is always sourcing and fueling and funding itself. So are we eternally sourced, fueled, funded in this moment, in every single moment. So I know that all is well. I know something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good. I'm not denying experiences. I'm not denying that we may not feel that this is so, or be able to see that this is so, but I know that this still is so. Anything else, anything less would be God going against himself, compromising himself, contradicting himself. Spirit cannot. Spirit cannot. All is well. Something wonderful is happening. Everything is working for our highest good. For this and so much more, I give thanks knowing that this is already done. It's not going to happen. It's not going to be well. We're not going to be sourced, fueled, funded. We're not going to have all our needs met, but this is already done. It's already happened. In the infinite mind, the highest possibility for each and every single one of us already exists. These possibilities are now emerging. They are now unfolding. They are now happening here in this dimension, in us and through us, in such a beautiful and magnificent way. So I let it. I allow it. I surrender to it, letting it be. So it is, so be it, so shall it be. So we are, so God is. Just the only thing that is happening here is this loving presence. Amen. Amin. Ashe. Aho. Hotep. Shalom. Salam. Mm. Welcome. Oops. We got a little twisted. Ah. All right. So, all you beautiful beings, um, welcome to those of you who have joined since before the meditation, and um, to all of us, welcome to this new space, because the we who are here now, we're not the same that moved into the meditation. So even if I perhaps said welcome to you before, I'm saying it again because this is a brand new version of who and what we are. So thank you, Christine. And Joe is here from California. Sammy says, I'm very grateful for you being in my life to guide me through my struggles. And I learned so much from a perspective that I had to see, but the clouds are moving and you have a beautiful smile and the blessings of you. Thank you so much. And isn't this beautiful? Isn't this beautiful that we can be in different parts of the world, and we can be in different time zones, and we can lead our own little lives, and yet we can come together like this in a beautiful um, community on our own terms, in our own way. This is such a beautiful use of technology, that we can be like this. And this is a spiritual practice. It's called hanging out in high-minded fellowship, surrounding ourselves with people that see us for what we are, that encourage us, that inspire us, that uplift us, that hold us when we are falling, when we are down, that they get to hold us in the knowing, not the worrying, but the knowing that all is well. Obviously, all is well. These are my words. These um, that's how I say it. We can say it in whatever way we feel resonates with us. But people who want only the best for us, and being in such a beautiful space here, as Aura, as other spaces, it is such a healing space. It is such an unconditionally loving space. And I'm so grateful for every single one of us who are actually choosing to tune in, to withdraw from the world and, I don't know, social media or the news or the newspapers or uh, whatever the case may be, to hang out here in this space, to come together in such a beautiful space. Um, Michelle is here. Hi, Michelle. Good to see you. And Christine saying, you put me to sleep every night, but you need to do some new sleep meditations, please. They are coming. They are being uploaded as they are not in the meditation series yet, but they if you go to my profile, I guess over the last couple of weeks I've uploaded a few of them actually, so they are here, and more are in the making. All right. Oh, Michelle's mom is joining tonight. Beautiful. Hi, Michelle's mom. I'm glad to have you with us. Today we are speaking about transformation being messy. And um, I woke up, was it yesterday morning, feeling a little bit off. And I'm having a whole lot of clients that are feeling very off, which has prompted me to actually record a track called "Transformation is Messy," and that's probably why this is the topic for today. Um, and so what we need to realize, as we're walking this beautiful path um, of awakening, I call it the path of freedom, spiritual enlightenment, or whatever the case may be. It is not about all smiles. Absolutely, we get to be in that space of ever expanding peace and love and joy and harmony and wholeness and all of that. But it is not about us feeling good all of the time. That's not what this is. But all of this work that we're doing, as we are growing, as we are expanding, what we're really doing is not so much growing and expanding. I mean, it feels very good to say it that way, but what we're really doing is releasing and letting go that which covers up, that which obscures, that which keeps the light, the love, the peace, the harmony that we already are from shining, from glowing, from being revealed. So it is all about us releasing thought forms, fears, worries, doubts. It is all about us releasing perhaps a sense of not being enough, all about us releasing, letting go of judgments and opinions and complaints and thoughts as to what should and should not be. And as we do that, the healing happens, the transformation happens. So we're setting ourselves free from these lower thought forms, these lower vibrations. And when we do that, we set ourselves free to glow, to shine, to soar. But all of this it is very intense and it is messy. Releasing, letting go of perhaps a story that we have been holding on to for all our lives. A story about perhaps us not being enough, not being worthy of love, not being good enough, not being prosperous enough, not having enough, or whatever the story tells us. If we have been attached to that story for a long time, releasing it is kind of give rise to a lot of turbulence because that's who I was. My world, this has been our world, living, seeing the world through the filters of this perception, of this belief. So everywhere we go, whomever we meet, even in the silence of our own company, we're seeing the world, we're viewing ourselves through these sort of sunglasses or the filters. When we take away these, when we remove these filters, a new world emerges that we are not familiar with. So that which we are very familiar with is being released, is being let go of, and this is actually called chemicalization. It is sometimes called the dark night of the soul. There are different gradients of it. But we're releasing and letting go of something that we've been very used to, that we used to know. And as we're releasing and letting go of it, so the old is dying, the old perceptions are dying, the old version of who and what we were are dying. Something new is emerging, but it has not quite emerged. And so there is a space of confusion. There is a space of, I don't know who I am. I don't know. I don't know anything anymore, right? All that we used to know, we no longer know it because it's not a part of who we are. It's not who we are anymore. I believe it was um, someone, and I keep forgetting names. I'm not all that good with names, but this is a beautiful teacher. He lived a number of years ago, and he said that, actually in reference to moving through the dark night of the soul, but he said that we walk by remembered radiance. We walk by remembered radiance. So as we're moving through this space, what we used to believe in terms of spirit being loving, in terms of life being benevolent and all of that, as we're moving through this space of confusion, when the structures are crumbling, I don't know who I am internally and even externally. When we begin to change, everything needs to change and everything is changing. And so as we're saying yes to being on this path, as we're saying yes to being ever expanding conduits or instruments or vessels or vehicles for the divine, for all these beautiful qualities: peace, love, joy, harmony, wholeness. When we begin to say yes to being more of service to the world, then we want the world to get us something. New structures need to be built. New structures. Hello, buddy. New structures, old structures will dissolve and the new will emerge. I was going somewhere with this. I had a point. My mind had a point. It is messy. It is messy. So Jamie says, I always feel so at peace listening to your message. Thank you so much. And Laurel says, thank you so much for your energy. That's not what you said, but that's what I said that you said. Thank you, Laurel. And Jordan says, the releasing and letting go makes space for remembering who we truly are with compassion. Yes. And Christine says, I find I'm rediscovering myself as I age, 24, and now learning more every day. Absolutely. And Michelle says that freedom comes. It finally. All right. So here, it is so, our words have a power. Everything that we think, everything that we talk about, everything that we say, everything that we feel, with emphasis on what we feel, are like messages sent out to the cosmic mirror. And the mirror can only reflect what we are sending out, right? And so we want to be mindful of the words that we're using. And I just became aware, Michelle, as I was reading your comment there, using words like, oh, something is going to happen, and or as you say, the freedom comes. Even though freedom comes these words have a higher vibration than freedom will come, I would invite us to actually go a step further and really allow ourselves to say that freedom is already here. I am free, or I am well. Healing is already here. Wholeness is already here. Peace is already here, or abundance is here. Not that it's going to come, not that it comes, or that it might not come, but that this is what is. Once again, in the infinite mind of spirit, every single possibility already exists. So that every single version of who and what we are already exists in that infinite mind. And we're locking onto it. Like if I'm driving down the freeway, let's say that I'm going from LA to San Francisco. And I don't know my US geography all that well, so please bear with me. But if I'm heading out from LA and I want to go to San Francisco, and I instead go a little bit the east of San Francisco, whatever is there, I'm not going to be going to San Francisco, but I will be going to wherever I aim to go. So we want to be very specific of the words that we're using. And there's a beautiful expression that speaks to the how these sacred laws operate, and how we're wise to align our words and our thoughts and our feelings with the good that we wish to experience, to only speak about that which we wish to experience. So if we want to experience peace or love or harmony or wholeness, to only speak about it as though it was already here, not something that will come in some future moment, but as though something that is already here, right? Michelle saying being lost altogether is okay. Absolutely. And that's another and the initial topic for this, and we're moving into that, so that's beautiful. The initial topic for this for this space today was actually the three stages of healing. The three stages of healing, which obviously the first one is that we become aware. And healing, let me just say that healing to me does not mean that we're fixing anything. It does not mean that we're mending anything that is that we're broken or flawed in any kind of way. It simply means, as we were talking about before, healing to me is just the releasing and letting go of that which obscures the light that we are, that which obscures the love that we are, the harmony that we are, the wholeness that we are. So moving into this world, we all moved in with a beautiful sense of being whole and complete. And then through stories that we have been telling ourselves and stories that others have been telling us, we sort of add layers onto that initial or that core sense. Stories speaking of us not being good enough, not being worthy, not being whole, not being beautiful enough, whatever the case may be. So healing is the releasing of these. We're digging through the mud. We're digging through the layers of false stories, beliefs, perceptions that we have added onto, that has been added, that we have been adding onto ourselves. So as we allow the healing to happen, once again, we are releasing and letting go that which no longer serves. So becoming aware of these, that is the first step. That's the first stage of healing. Becoming aware of these thought forms, becoming aware of these beliefs, these perceptions. The second step, or the second stage, which is what you're pointing to, Michelle, that it is all right. The second stage would be embracing and allowing that which is to be, not judging it, not having opinions about it, not complaining about it, but witnessing and observing it, embracing and allowing it. Everything is nothing until we make it something. And we make it something through our judgments, our opinions, the thoughts as to what should and should not be, right? So embracing and allowing it's not a passive observant thing. It's a very active, it's a choice that we make to refrain from complaining, to refrain from saying that, oh, I should be able to do more. I should have come farther, or whatever. All these judgments that the ego conjures up, right? But embracing and allowing them to be, embracing, allowing whatever to be as it is. It does not mean that we're not having preferences. It does not mean that we wouldn't prefer things to be different, but we are accepting it as it is in this now moment. And then what happens in that space of embracing and allowing, a release and let go begins to happen when we're no longer attached to the thought form, when we're no longer attached to the belief or the emotion. Then it begins to dissolve, which allows us to make new choices. So a beautiful question that we're always wise to ask. It's a question that keeps coming back over and over and over again, right? This choice that I'm about to make, this choice that I just made, is this in alignment with who I wish to be? Is this in alignment with what I wish to experience in my life? And it can be a complaint. This choice that I'm making right now to hold on to cling to this complaint, or even more, complaining to others about my life or about conditions or circumstances or whatever. Yes, it may feel very good to put on that victim suit, to take on that victim, to play that victim part, to get their sympathy and to, all of that. To the ego, that feels good, but does it serve me? Is it in alignment with what I wish to experience? If freedom is what I wish to experience, complaining, bemoaning, regurgitating, gossiping, all of these, none of these are in alignment with that. So that's a beautiful question that we get to ask over and over again. This choice that I'm about to make, this choice that I just made, is it in alignment with what I wish to experience? And as we're moving through this, and Ataya, yes, abundance is here. I'm holding that space for all of us. Abundance is here. Peace is here. Joy is here. Wholeness is here. Harmony is here. And as always, I absolutely love nature as a teacher. And if we get confused at times as to what the divine qualities are, which equals who and what we are, the truth and the essence of who and what we are, all we need to do is to look to nature. What is it that we're seeing in nature? We're seeing peace. We're seeing beauty. We're seeing wholeness. We're seeing abundance. We're seeing harmony. We're seeing love. We're seeing joy. So if that is all in nature, it must mean, and it absolutely does mean, once again, coming back to spirit, what God is, what life is, this loving presence that is in every space and place, that cannot ever compromise itself, that cannot ever contradict itself, that cannot ever divide itself or diminish itself, which simply means that wherever God is, the fullness of God is. So if nature can be in peace, if trees can be in the midst of a storm, or all of nature for that matter, can be in the midst of a storm or a blizzard or a drought and still have peace, it means that we can be in the midst of turmoil. We can be in the midst of turbulence and still be peace. It doesn't mean that we don't experience the turmoil. It doesn't mean that we don't experience the fears and the worries and the thought forms, but we can still be in peace even in the midst of that. So Sammy is saying transformation is messy. The path of freedom from the messy, just some of the things when listening to ways to cope with things that change and to releasing the past and world, we get to enter a new radiances that takes us time to try on, to see how it fits and make adjustments and tailor our life because the higher wisdom has already provided it for us. Yes, yes, yes. We just have to refine our healing. We're given this opportunity to start to understand it's going to be messy, but if we release that which is not for us, we become who we really are to be, without the judgments that were holding us back. You're a beautiful soul. Thank you for sharing. In hospital, they told me it was the end, but listening to you, I told them it was not. I love that. Such a thank you, Sammy. Yes, so once again, hanging out in high fellowship. I'm not saying that we're not to go to doctors. I'm not saying that we're not to go to the hospital when we need to. But hanging out in high fellowship means to hang out in spaces where individuals, where we're surrounded by people and individuals that are not locked into prognoses, that are not locked into, that are not buying into, that are not believing the diagnosis that the medical system has given. I mean, there are countless of individuals that have had injuries or illnesses that the doctor said could not be mended, that the doctor said could not be healed, and yet they are healed. Somewhere on YouTube, Greg Braden has a beautiful video of him observing a tumor being removed in like 30 seconds. by 2 or 3 practitioners just standing beside this individual, holding them in prayer, saying, it's already done, it's already done, it's already done, thy will be done, it's already done, it's already done. They do this for about 30 seconds and we get to see the tumor disappear. That's only one example. Healing is happening. And when we hold on, when we lock onto that, and when we, this is about taking our minds back. This is about not letting others dictate to us what our life is going to be like, who we are, but us taking back our power, our um our yes, all right. So we get to stand in what we believe. And my goodness, if we look at creation, if we look at spirit, all cosmos, all the stars, all the supernovas, all the galaxies, all the aliens out there that some of us, most of us, have not yet seen, and all the beings on this planet. I mean, there's no lid on the ingenuity, on the creativity of spirit. Everything is possible in the mind of spirit. Everything is possible. We all live and move in a field of infinite possibilities, but we need to lock onto that. We need to believe that it is possible. So, so there are 4 levels of vibrational alignment, and we don't have time to really go deep into them, but let's explore them. Let's touch on them. So the lowest level is where we absolutely know that it is not possible. We absolutely know that um, what the good that I wish to experience, it can't be, it can't happen. It's impossible. It's impossible for whatever reasons. That's the lowest level. Moving up 1 level, we get to, it's not really possible. I don't believe that it is possible. So there's a slight opening, right? I don't believe that it's possible. I don't know that it is impossible, but I don't believe that it is possible. Moving up 1 level, it might be possible. Maybe it's possible. So the opening is the opening is widening, right? And then we go to the highest level of vibrational alignment. It's not only possible, but it's already done. It's already done, and it is happening now. It's done in the infinite mind, and it is happening now here in this dimension. Those are the 4 levels of vibrational alignment, and we're wise to do what we can do to move ourselves into the highest level of knowing, absolutely knowing that the healing, as some of you were speaking, and I love that, Sammy. That's your share is a beautiful testament to that, to not buying into the lower vibrations or the lower levels of vibrational alignment. I mean, people have grown back limbs that and parts of the body that people are not supposed to, according to the medical system, to grow back. Miracles happen every single day. Do we hear it on the news? No, we don't. Do we read it in the newspapers? No, we don't, most of the time. So many of us are not blasted by this. But what if the news were not speaking so much about the misery, the pain, the suffering, but more about the possibilities, more about the kind and loving acts that people are engaging in every single day? What about the news were all about how miracles are possible and how they happen all the time? I mean, our lives would be so different. But we are hijacked. We many of us are hijacked by those lower common denominators: fear, worry, doubt. It's not possible. It's very, very bad, and it's going to get even worse. So we need to find a way. We need to find a way, or actually, this is the way. Hanging out in spaces like this is the way, where we get to hang out with individuals that want to believe, that want to know, that want to see the world that we want to see, that want to see the good that we want to see, that want to see the love that we want to see. And hanging out in such a space on a regular basis, gradually, we may not believe it initially coming into this space, but gradually, that trust, that inner knowing, that inner feeling tone that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good, that begins to rub itself off on us. And I love, all right, so I love the love that is here. I mean, it is so beautiful to witness the support, and to read your comments, and the beautiful expressions of love. And much is going out to Sammy at this point. It's so beautiful. Um, so Ataya is saying Western medicine is dominant, but it's not the only truth. And we could even say that is not really true at all. I mean, truth is that wholeness is. Truth is that peace is. That joy is. That harmony is. Truth is that there is no such thing as dying. Yes, we're leaving this physical dimension, going to wherever we go when we're done here, but it's not dying. Truth is that there's no such thing as us being born. It's just us entering into this dimension so that we can hang out here for a while. So there's that statement that goes, the only thing there ever is to blame is ignorance, not understanding, not knowing. That is the only thing that is holding us back. Tammy is saying, I was told it was impossible and I refused to believe it was impossible. Break down the word impossible. I've heard that. That's beautiful. And it's really just saying, I am possible. I love that. Impossible simply means I am possible. Yes, beautiful. Thank you, Sammy. I did hear the words miracle and said it's not, and said not, it's believing in a higher universe. So, so we need to, as we are allowing for the healing to happen, as we are allowing for the ever expanding expression of wholeness, is perhaps a more suitable way to put it. As we are allowing for an ever expanding revelation of the peace that we are, the joy that we are, the wholeness that we are, finding ways. And you may have heard me say over and over and over again that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good. And I do it very intentionally. I do it very much on purpose, because I know, when I think I've shared that when I caught these, what I call my go-to affirmations, when I caught these a number of years ago, I was in a space where my back was absolutely against the wall. That was my perception of it. I had no idea how to navigate through or how to move myself out of that space. And I was a very doing kind of guy. And I still have that tendency. I still have that belief that if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. So I was very much in the making of everything happen, right? And so I found myself in a particular condition that it became very clear to me that I cannot make myself get out of this. This is not up to me, but I need something to lean on to. And so I asked Spirit, I asked God for tools to help me navigate through this. And the tool that I got was these 3 affirmations. When I first leaned into them, all is well, something wonderful is always happening, everything's working for the highest good. When I first leaned into them, I was I did not believe a word I was saying. I did not believe one syllabus of these words. Not nothing. They were complete and utter lies to me. Nothing was well. Nothing wonderful was happening, and nothing was working for my good. That was my perception. That was my story at the time. But as I knew that the mind is habitual, it's repetitive, and habits are formed through repetition. As I knew that the subconscious mind, the only way to get to it, the only way to consciously shift what's in the subconscious is through repetition. So I stuck with these and I said them out loud. I said them in my car. I said every chance I got. And I leaned into writing a lot. Just, on a um, I had a notepad and a pen, and I would just write, all is well, something wonderful is happening, everything's working for the highest, over and over and over again. And I did this for, well, I mean, I still do it, so I never stopped. But there came a point where these words moved from me not believing one aspect of them. I mean, they were complete lies. To gradually, they began to actually kind of make sense, and I began to feel they began to soothe me. They began to comfort me, not agitate me, not get me upset and all worked up because God is stupid and malicious and unfair and all of that I tend to believe at the point. Um, the point is, we need to work up the discipline to lean into that which serves. Once again, asking ourselves, is this in alignment with what I wish to experience? Is this in alignment with who I wish to be or what I wish for my life to be about? As in Sammy's case, not trusting the doctors that are saying that, oh, this is the end of your life and your life is over and it's going to be this way or that way, but to hold what we wish to experience, what we wish to experience. I want to experience wholeness. I want to experience health. I want to experience beauty. I want to experience abundance. I want to experience freedom. So that's what I'm going to be telling myself over and over and over again. This is the beauty of affirmations. And this is the beauty of this independent thinking mind that we have, this reflective consciousness that we have, that we've been gifted with. A rose cannot do this. A cat cannot do this. A cloud cannot do this, but we can. We can absolutely, in every single moment, choose what we wish to think, where we wish to turn our attention to. So we set out having the qualities, and that's one of the reasons that I initially asked us to bring one quality into mind. So we set out intending for this quality or these qualities to become ever more present, to reveal themselves, and then we go look for them. We speak into them over and over and over again. We look for them everywhere. So if I want to experience more peace, I go looking for peace everywhere. And eventually we come to find it. We come to see it everywhere. So what we've done is that we have removed the filters that we used to have, the blindfolds that we used to have. Now we put on new filters. Now we're beginning to see the world as spirit sees it. We're beginning to see the world as we want to see it, not as suggested to us by media or other individuals, but as we want to see it. And as that becomes alive and active within us, we're moving ourselves into the vibrational alignment, into the feeling tone that this is here. The piece that I see it everywhere. Oh, my goodness, it's in these drapes, it's in this painting, it's in the cat, it's in the glass of water. It's everywhere. The piece that I wish to experience, it's not missing, it's not out there somewhere, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. So we begin to train our minds, we begin to treat our minds to see that which we wish to experience, to know, to feel that we wish to experience. right? Christine says, I believe more every day that things are going to get better for my life, less pain by listening to you. Yes. Believing is a beautiful, that's the third stage, believing that it is possible. And I'm inviting you, Christine, to seek to take it to the highest level of knowing not only that your life is going to get better, but knowing that your life is good, knowing that all is well, knowing that, and this is for all of us, knowing that something wonderful is happening now and always, that everything is working for the highest good now and always. And yes, it's already done. We just have to find it within our spirit. Beautiful. It's already done. The oak tree has always existed within the acorn. Even before the acorn was, the oak tree existed. In potential, but still. Right? Our time is up. Thank you so much for joining, all of you. Thank you for joining on Instagram. Thank you for joining on the Oral Health app. It is such a beautiful to be in this space. It is such a beautiful. I'm so honored and I'm so privileged and I'm so grateful for all of you who are tuning in this space. That we get to do this together. I mean, we are seemingly separate, but we're all here as one. We're all here as one. So I'm going to pray us out. Before that, I just want to thank all of those of you who have financially contributed. So there's Darnellis, Christine, Sammy, and Jamie, Elizabeth, Dolores. Thank you so much. And if being in the space resonated with you, if you feel compelled to, you're more than welcome to make a donation or a financial contribution, which go to us allowing for this space to expand so that we can hang out here more than we are now. I mean, I would love to be able to be in this space for longer periods and more often. So thank you so much for, in whatever ways every single one of us has contributed to this space being what it is. So thank you all for doing that. I invite us to close our eyes as we move into. So once again, as I give the breath permission to move me deep into the nowness of this moment, how grateful I am to know the peace that is here, the love that is here, joy that is here, the harmony that is here, wholeness that is here. How grateful am I that I get to hang out with such beautiful beings, such radiant souls, glowing lights, as we release and let go of that which no longer serves, so that more of the light that we are may come forth, so that we may shine bright as 1,000 suns, every single one of us, for all and everything on this planet and beyond, to be guided, uplifted, empowered, inspired. I'm so grateful for your willingness, for your courage to do this work. If it was easy, a lot more people would be doing it. But this is not easy. This is hard work. This is hard work. And I'm grateful for your willingness to do it, knowing that there's only one thing happening here. There's one loving presence that is infinite peace, that is infinite joy, that is infinite love, that is infinite harmony, that is infinite wholeness, that is infinite harmony, infinite beauty, infinite creativity, infinite intelligence, that is boundless, limitless. eternal, that is always for itself, always good, always benevolent, always expressing itself beautifully, perfectly. No mistakes in spirit, no meaningless acts in God, only divine and perfect order, divine and perfect action happening always, divine and perfect timing happening always. And we are one with this loving presence, just like the wave is always one with the ocean, just like the sunbeam is always one with the sun. So are we eternally one with this loving presence. We've never been separated from it. We cannot ever be separated from it, nor are we separate from it. Regardless of whether or not we know it, see it, feel it, we're still one with it because it is all there is. So I bless us all. I bless us all in the full knowing that, seeing that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good, that we in this moment, in every single moment, have everything that we need to allow for ever expanding peace, to allow for ever expanding joy and harmony and wholeness and love and all of these beautiful qualities to emerge, to allow for the next great and grand version of who what we are to emerge. All has been given. We're missing nothing, we're lacking nothing. For this, I give thanks, knowing that it is done, knowing that healing is happening, knowing that love is happening, knowing that peace is happening, knowing that harmony, wholeness, abundance, they're all happening. Because God is always happening. God is not a future thing. God is always a now thing. Expansion is happening now. I surrender to it. I allow it to be. I let it be. So it is, so be it, so shall it be, so we are, so God is, being the only thing that is. Amen. Amin. Ashe. Ahu. Hotep. Shalom. Salam. And hallelujah. Thank you so, so much, all of you. Sammy and Jamie and Taya, Christine and Robin, Emily, Dylan, Hope, who just joined us from Instagram. Yes, Hope, this will be on the replay. Thank you so, so much. Thank you, Sammy, for those beautiful words. It truly warms my heart and it brings a deep and profound smile to my face. I'm truly blessed that all of you are here, that we are all here, sharing this space, sharing this path. Until we meet again, which will be in a week, at least live. Much love, many blessings to us all. Oh, not to forget, I bless, bless, bless all our ways, and I bless, bless, bless all of our days, knowing, feeling that all is well, that something wonderful is happening, that everything is working for the highest good. Now, it is time for much love and many blessings to us all.